It's another party. That's another drive. Boom. Good evening, folks. Hi, how are you guys tonight? It is, what is today? I don't even know what it is. The 30th. January 30th.
January 30th.
We don't have our buddy Hugo here to do the intro. Do any of you want to take the opportunity to do the intro?
Not really.
Because I really can't, do that. That's not my...
Welcome to SonarFeed.
Welcome to, there you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to SonarFeed. That's about as much as we can do. We're here tonight on what will probably be one of the last 12 days of the year, of the country,
right.
Of the world. No, I'm kidding, of course. Maybe.
I honestly don't think I have enough wine to get us to State of the Union.
Yeah, you only have like 75 bottles left, right?
Yeah. 74 after tonight.
Thank you. So this is an episode tonight with Hugo. Might not be here. May or may not be here. We'll wait and see.
He's supporting his
community.
He is becoming...
executing his civic pride.
Very much involved in the community, which we love and support and are happy about. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about soccer, I suppose.
Maybe.
We're going to talk about the inauguration / first week of executive orders. And one of our friends in the community that is no longer with us as well. So as the title of the show is tonight, Wait, What? Every single thing this week has been what?
What?
Huh? For real? Like, did that just happen? On the night tonight, between the time we all left the house and started the show, 2 federal employees were fired.
We could have also named it The Fuck?
The Fuck would have been a good one as well. So, anyway, so lots of good stuff to talk about tonight. Or not good stuff, lots of stuff to talk about tonight. We're joined by Max tonight, which we'll do our introductions here, and then we'll...
Howdy.
Hi, Max.
Hi, Max. How are you?
Oh, good.
Max was with us in December
Yes.
as well, so welcome
It
back.
feels like so long ago.
It
A lifetime aago. Remember back then when we had like all the happiness and joy, and we were outside doing the dance and having a party.
We won the MLS Cup.
And won the MLS Cup.
Wait, we did?
We did. Remember back then when we actually had a president?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still happy about it.
I'm still happy
I'm
about
happy
that.
about that. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. The rest of it, maybe not so much. But anyways.
Anywho.
So, my name is Aaron Riley, a.k.a. Sonar Riley. Diagonally across from me on your side of the screen over here somewhere, that way, is...
Tom Biro, a.k.a. Bougie Hooli.
Sitting next to me, the one and only producer, El Tigre.
El Tigre, if anything goes wrong with the show, it's his fault.
Yeah, pretty much. Here, let me pull that plug.
At
happens.
SSFC Fody 13.
The OG Fody.
OG Fody. Don't at me.
Don't at me. And across from us is...
Max Kino. My Twitter handle's at Max Kino Photo. You guys can tell I'm on there all the time.
Yes, you tweet a lot.
You know what?
Max
Constantly.
loves Twitter.
I've got to slow it down. It's killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had like 3 posts last week. I was like, what's wrong with you?
All within a 20-minute span of each other.
That's awesome. So anyway, I was not here last week. I went on a self-imposed
Media ban.
/ get rid of every single contact with the world.
It's not every day you turned 57.
Correct, yes. It was unrelated but related to my birthday. I turned 42 last week. I was really looking forward to it. I won't be able to celebrate my birthday on SonarFeed again until like 2023 or something like that. It's like 6 years from now or something like that, which, assuming we're still doing the show in 6 years or assuming we're still a country. I shaved a week and a half, or shaved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
No.
Yeah, I trimmed my beard a week and a half ago.
You missed a spot.
I missed a couple spots. I had a couple of meetings that I needed to go to that required a little more adultness, and so I shaved, trimmed it up. But I went on and basically I shut everything off. Shut Twitter off, shut Facebook off, mostly text messages off. My phone has been on silent mode for a week. It was actually quite wonderful.
I did that for a minute because I'm having problems with my phone, and I actually felt better about the world.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still was reading the news, and I would still go once a day and look at stuff, but I wasn't doing the constant all day long stuff. And it's been an interesting 6 months for me, and so I want to apologize to anybody that I've been an asshole to in the last couple of weeks or months, because I've been a little bit off in my own little world trying to figure out.
You did rage quit chat.
I did rage quit chat. I did last weekend.
Straight up.
I said goodbye.
You're like, I'm out. And
Okay,
then
I said I'm out. I did say
Aaron
I'm out.
Riley has left the conversation.
We were all actually confused.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the AOL days when your friend just got mad and then you heard the door slam.
Yeah.
Right? And you were like,
oh my God, that was the best noise though. It was.
You rot mail.
Yeah. Oh my God, that
Mark
door
was like
slamming.
ASL, and they were like, Juju.
Goodbye.
Well, that's what happens when you troll those chat rooms, Mark.
Anyway.
So just wanted to say it was a good week for that part of it,
Yeah.
to kind of reset, like where I was at, who was at. I didn't talk to anybody. Like, all my family called me on my birthday, and I ignored everybody for 12 hours. I eventually called them back, but I needed that
Oh yeah, you got
me.
back to everybody. You
I
were
did.
just like, hey.
But eventually.
Anyway,
Anyways,
I'll talk to you at some point.
That's just this week. It was a good week for that. Then the rest of the world happened, and of course, it's been a little crazy around here. So, anyways, how's your week been, you guys?
I had a good weekend.
Good. What'd you do?
Had beers with Brennan Vaughn and
Nice.
Mike Reed, and then Mike Reed and I crashed Tom's Pad for dinner. I invited myself.
When was this?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Nice.
It was good. We had 2+ bottles of wine, some pasta.
It was really good. That bolognese was great.
Yeah, it was good. That worked out.
Let's see, what else did I do? I helped my dad pressure wash his runway of a driveway.
Nice.
5.5 hours.
There it is.
That was good. He was like, "You can leave whenever you want." And I was like, "No, the whole point was for me to come help do this."
Your dad actually said you can check out anytime you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Then yesterday I had lunch with an old college friend and had some beers, and it was good.
Nice. Good. Tom, how about you? How's life?
It's all right. Fairly painless weekend. I slept in a couple times, which was good. But I had the I'm up till 2:45. I slept till 5. Then you wake up, you look at the internet for a minute, and then you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. And then you're up for 3 hours, and then you're like, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah.
So did that twice,
Okay.
which was kind of antithetical to having a productive weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, did some random walking around.
You got a random text from some guy. Hey, turn around.
Aaron
I was very
texted me,
confused by that.
passing me on 4th.
Fourth and Olive
by the tree
or
man.
Stewart. Yeah.
And I had actually airplane mode on.
Oh, did you really?
I
Okay.
happened to pull my phone out because some stuff had been happening that I wanted to look at, and I turn it on, and I have this text, and I'm like, that's creepy. Ish.
Well, what made it better is that you were walking in front of me, the two of you, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the red hat, and I'm like, oh, the fucking well, I wanted to. And then I realized it was you.
Because it was that.
It was that hat,
This
the
hat.
good hat. And I'm like, I was going to get a ride. And I'm like, I got 2 seconds. I texted you, and then boom. Then I was far away. But yeah.
Yeah, just kind of did
Yeah.
random Seattle-y things. And then yesterday, did a couple things at home. And then after being lazy, and then went and met a few folks to do the rally stuff
Oh, good, yeah.
in Westlake.
Yep.
So did that for a few hours.
Nice.
And then, of course, there was no formal plan to march publicly because they probably hadn't cleared the route and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we were all there 2+ hours, and people just were leaving in droves.
Yeah.
And I get home, I do some things, and then look online, and they're marching, and I was like, oh,
Really?
so frustrated.
Yeah.
They marched a long time last night, because I looked at something at about midnight, and there were still people out and around in the city.
Yeah, but they weren't officially like at a big group marching at that
No.
point. Yeah.
But at 10 o'clock, there
Yeah,
still was
they
a
were
group.
still. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yep.
pretty impressed with the crowd at Westlake. It was kind of a weird way to cap a typical weekend.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if we had mentioned it last week or not. I really felt strongly that coming off of last Saturday, if you want to create some momentum.
Yep.
Waiting till tax day is too far.
Way too
in my
far.
opinion.
Yep.
As unfortunate it is the reasons that we all end up doing whatever we did over the weekend, whether we were at the airport or at Westlake or wherever, as Seattleites. It was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then today saw some jokes, not jokes, about are we all marching on Super Bowl Sunday kind of thing. Anyway, so it was an interesting weekend.
Yeah, I think that's a
weekends
good-
feel different to me right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they don't feel real, right?
like 2 weeks in a row, weekends they feel just odd. And I've always paid attention to things, and I try and be up on news and politics and stuff in general. The joke about the best summary I've seen is the person who tweeted my morning every day is this, and it's them waking up, and it's the Picard damage report.
Yeah. Yes, that's great.
And I was like, that's literally how I feel in the morning. And that's not good.
No, and last week I went every day. I drove every day last week because I needed to drive every day. I didn't look at the news until the end of the day.
Which is good.
But
Good for you.
Friday or Saturday, I looked at it in the morning, and oh my God, that was the worst day of my life because I'm
You spent 6 hours
mad.
scrolling.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was like, oh. Anyway, so Max, how about you? So you were here right after obviously during the whole celebration.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about what have you been up to, and
Did I see
tell
you
us
Friday?
Tell us a little bit about you.
No, you did not see me Friday.
Okay.
Friday was a very boring night for me because we had plans with people, and then those people canceled at the last minute. So
Kind of like what would happen is if you were supposed to see a movie that you love, and at the last minute somebody canceled on you. That's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, good. I'm glad you agree.
I just got somebody in trouble. I don't know who.
Him. No, actually, it was a good thing, because now my wife can come if we do it on another day. So that's good.
Yeah, my weekend was actually full of photography stuff, even though I did not
Nice.
take a single picture. It was weird.
Interesting.
Editing?
Editing?
No, well, some yes, but one of my friends, who's actually one of my proteges, she's trying to buy a camera, so we went to Kenmore Camera, and she tried about 7 or 8 different cameras and still doesn't have one. But that's how you buy cameras.
That's right.
It's like buying a car. You test drive everything until you agonize, and then finally decide you have the car of your dreams, and then buy it, and then 10 minutes later you're like, oh, I wish I got that one. But
exactly.
She hasn't bought hers yet, but she's getting there.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, one of our friends from Public, Anton Ernie? Ern? I don't
think
know.
it's Ern.
Ern? Okay. I framed and matted a photo of him yellow carding Taylor Graham.
Excellent.
And it also has the yellow card that Taylor Graham signed in the frame as well.
Oh, nice.
So
That's awesome.
That was pretty fun.
That's great. Good. Excellent. And again, I let out with my, semi-apology that I'll do offline as well for you guys. But just, it's an interesting, for me, and that's part of where I want to go into this. It will segue into, the life being short and a lot of stuff going on here in a minute. But it's interesting to stop and look, and I had some good perspective this week. One of the things I love about driving people around is it gives me a lot of free time to think about things, because it's not exactly the biggest, mental gymnastics thing to drive people. Although with all the idiots in Seattle, it is kind of, because you got to worry about everybody else being out there. But it was interesting. I had a lot of good moments, this aha moments, if you will, this week for me personally, of where do I want to go next? What do I want to do when I grow up? And etc. So just, it was good. Spend time with the family. It's been really good. Being home with the kids, really good. So anyway, that's my thing. I just wanted that's
awesome.
Right now we have to there's so much going on that it's okay sometimes to check out. It's okay sometimes to do the things that you need to do to give yourself care to get back where you need to go to. Because I feel more empowered to drive myself forward and not drive my Lyft drive, but drive myself forward to doing something different or something that helps.
Keep your focus elsewhere, and frankly, keep your focus on something that's productive.
Exactly.
Because
But but let's.
I could read tweets all day too.
Exactly.
But
I could not.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something that I think is probably a good segue. So while not the most positive way to open up the show,
Yep.
really, you sort of mentioned a little bit of life is short.
Yep.
And, I'll lean on you a little bit on this.
Yeah.
But we all lost somebody in Sounders land this weekend.
Yep.
So I think that's worth us spending a couple of minutes on.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and that's part of where this came from. So my media break ended Saturday night with the news, because I was laying in bed, I was getting ready for bed, and I'm like, I'm going to just see how bad the world is briefly before I go to sleep. And that's when the same night the airport a demonstration happened as well, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Which then I ended up staying up like 2 in the morning and going there, but we'll come back to that. And one of our friends, a friend of the show, friend of the Sounders community, his Twitter handle was Acadina Forvida. A Christian, was a great guy, and he was on SonarFeed. I was going to tweet out the link to the episode where he was on when S2 opened up, and we went to Odin Brewery. It was that night against the Sacramento Republic group, and they traveled a couple hundred people.
Yep.
And a Gorilla at that time had a deal with Odin, and they had the buses going back and forth, and we decided, hey, let's do a pregame show and let's talk about what we're excited about S2 and kind of getting everybody excited about that, right? So, anyways, yeah. So, sorry, I just got the music got turned up here. Let me just real quick
I
here.
mean, we could all just sing along.
So, anyways, text sent. Christian was involved in that. Christian was a wonderful young man who was involved in a lot of the Sounders community. He worked with another friend of the show, Kyle Gervin, and Marcus on doing a lot of work with UW, with the Academy. Mm-hmm. He cared. Dom, one of our first guests on the show, he was involved in giving him the energy and the positivity and the excitement about following your heart and being involved in things. And there's just something about him that made life good. Yeah. We saw him in December at the MLS Cup.
Right.
Totally out of the blue. Didn't know he was going to be there. Saw him there, and I'm like, oh my God. It was a great. In hindsight, I only saw him for a few moments. Only said a few words to him, etc. It's something that. It's something that to me, and this is again part of this last week for me. And I'm not trying to make it about me. I'm just saying this is my personal view on this, is that sometimes we get a lot of things happening, right? We have the world happens, life happens, we get going, and we forget to stop and think and be involved in the moment. We forgot to be, we're not present, right? We're not here at this moment. Thank you. We're not present, and that is something that I need to be better at myself, is being present. And it's something like you come down to a show like here, and if you get 10 or 15 people down here trying to say hi to everybody in the 10 minutes before the show and then after the show, it's almost impossible to do it. And it's something that we need to be better at, because he gave time for everybody. He was one of those guys that he would give time for regardless. Right. And I loved that. But it's one of the things I loved about him. So I don't know if you guys have any stories of him, if you know him. I mean, I know you're coming in late. I don't know if you know Christian or not.
I don't know.
So, but do you guys have anything that you guys remember or have any stories that you want to say about him?
I didn't know him very well, but I mean, online he was always fun to interact with.
Yeah. Not really specific stories. Just one of those, as this all kind of cracked down or came out on over the weekend, I was like, you see a photo and you're like, I'm not sure I recognize that person. Sounders community is pretty considerable. And then someone's like, oh, this was the person that was at place X during thing Y. And you're like, oh. Yeah. And that was, it's not that it's any more of a downer, but it gives you context. And, I think that's the thing for a lot of people, is super great guy. Everybody was really passionate about hanging out with. And I think was, in a way, a part of something that doesn't necessarily get a lot of play from maybe the larger group of the Sounders community, which is the youth system.
Exactly.
And that community. It's not that no one cares. It's just there are people that are hardcore about it and really, really push it forward. Yep. And he was part of that.
Absolutely. And it is something that we all have our different focuses. We all have a different amount of time that we're able to spend on some things. Some people go big hardcore on everything Sounders. Some go just the first team. Some go every team, and it's a hard thing to do. But it's an interesting reminder that our lives touch all these different people, and their lives touch us.
Right.
And it could end tomorrow. Right. I mean, we're seeing that in the greater scheme of the world right now, that life changes quickly, and in this case, we don't know all the stories. I've retweeted personally a couple of the stories that came out about it.
Yeah.
I've seen some things from his mom, or what I think is his mom. I don't know firsthand confirmation. I posted on her Facebook page after I found out about it, breaking my online silence to say he was a great young man who touched a lot of lives up here in Seattle and everywhere he went. And if you look at his feed and you look at his ats on Facebook and Twitter, Jesse mentions the shower beer, right? He was so happy to be at the Loose Moose up in Toronto, you know. Yeah. He had to move back down to Texas, but his heart was here, even though he was a Cowboys fan. Right. Boo, damn Cowboys fan. But anyway, but he had that passion and always had it, and I don't know. It's something to celebrate his life. I mean, it could all end tomorrow for any one of us.
Yeah,
that's true.
And hey, so let's cheers to Christian. Yeah. So yeah, the Z. That's another thing. The Steve Zakawani Z that you always saw, the green Z.
Yeah,
that was his. James Riley went and grabbed it after Zakawani's injury. There's a lot of those memories with folks, and we all touch. You don't know how we all touch someone else's life, and he definitely touched a lot of our lives, and we'll never. I mean, always be there in memory.
And that's like a kind of a funny comment too. Like, you don't really realize stuff, but I think we've had some conversations with like former players and even like S2 guys where you're like, hey, what's your favorite this, or what songs do you like, or this or that, and like they know about stuff that you're like, how do you even pay attention to this?
Exactly.
And like that's where you realize like that kind of moment, the Z, things like that are kind of cool to be a part of.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, like it's just unfortunate.
It is.
And
I wish I could have. I mean, it's one of those things. I wish I could have is a bad sentence to ever have to say. Right. But I wish I would have spent more time with them. I wish I would have had a chance to get to know him better. I wish. I mean, I knew him. I would consider him a friend, but maybe I didn't know him as deep as I could have if he was still around.
Right.
Sounds like a senseless act, but we don't know. But
without being like trite and just be like, be positive about people you meet, kind of thing. Like, just it just sucks to like lose somebody that's close to a community or your friends or whatever.
Right. I mean, and we talk about it a lot. The show, we're now in our, coming up on our 5th anniversary this year, 6 years of doing it, 6 calendar years of doing it. I keep saying that. We've met a lot of people and had a lot of friends. Some are still around. Some have come in and come out. Some are still going to the games. Some are not going to the games. Some are still involved, like weekly, coming down here. Some don't.
Somehow you still have me as producer.
Somehow we went back to you as producer. But it's a family, and I don't say that lightly. To me, and I know. I mean, I am. It's not a persona. It's not an act. It's who I am. I may have my moments of everything else, but I am a dad. I am a father. I'm a brother. I'm a husband. It's who I am. I like people. I hate people, but I love people.
I thought we were going to be like a Meredith. I thought you were going to get into that Meredith Brooks.
That's where I was going. Yeah, but I decided not to. I'm a bitch. Yeah, I am a bitch. But anyways, it is. But this is the family, and we've always said that from day one. That SonarFeed is about the family. It's about what we want it to be. The family extends to the players, the front office, so Max is part of the family. He won't take pictures for me, but I've never asked him either.
But I'll do it. Tell me where and when. If my schedule fits, I'll be there.
Perfect. But you are. You're part of the family. The minute you come down here at all or interact at all, you're part of the family.
Right.
I mean, Tim came down tonight, Muffin Top Model, because he wanted to look a little bit because he's talked about doing something too.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. We're mentioning you on the air right now. Yeah, you. I mean, we've had other friends ask us, hey, can we do this because we want to do something. It's like what we're doing is not rocket science here. I mean, you make it seem like it some weeks,
Yeah.
but but it's about family. And I hate to harp on that, but it is. This is family. You guys are family. I'm that crazy uncle that you all hate, and then I go on my little rampage or whatever. But we're family.
Right.
I mean, I consider every one of you my family.
A good example is, last year when I was going through stuff, and you and I had late nights talking about stuff.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot. Yep. Tom's helping me on something, as well, which is a lot of fun for him right now.
It's good times.
Not really, but not really at all. Which is that's probably part of my disappearing because I got mad at the world. But it's like we all are here, and we're all important. So thanks everybody for being part of the family. And even if I don't know you well now, I'd love to get to know you better. And if I know you well, I'd like to get to know you even better. Better. That didn't sound good, but you know what I mean.
Butter's better.
So anyway, so Christian, wherever you are, whatever you're doing now, good luck to you. Your family members, anybody out there in the community that knows you, got to know you, was lucky, fortunate enough to know you.
Yeah, thank you for being part of our lives.
Yeah, and thank you for being a great guy, a really great guy. And I hope, that we all can touch and help somebody else going through something like this. So that's really about all I have to say. I mean, I can go on for a long time, because I never shut up. But this one hit me hard. Hit some people harder because they had a different relationship with them, but it hit me hard. With all the pictures coming out of the SonarFeed tournaments of him playing and letting Lonnie score a goal, that one year, and being there and being involved and being excited about it and wanting to help and doing whatever it takes, those things are huge. So, so there you go. No, we were just saying hi. So, okay. Shall we go on? Shall we move on?
We can move on.
Shall we talk about what you texted me? Shall we talk about
let's talk about
teasing
that.
it a little bit?
Yep.
So, I'm pulling out my calendar here. Sorry, hold on. Just to make sure.
You're gonna count? You're gonna count?
I'm going to count? No, I'm not going to count. But, so we...
1 week.
The first weekend of April... Because we still have to check on the day, right?
And this is no joke.
No joke. The first weekend of April. Yes, good point.
When you say check on the date, for which
the date
thing?
of whether or not they do conditioning the day 1 after or day 2 after, to get confirmation on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be good.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, the first weekend of April is the weekend we are going to schedule for the SonarFeed FIFA tournaments. So we're breaking a little bit of news tonight. So either April 1st or April 2nd, which is a Saturday or a Sunday. I'm hedging my bets. You seem like you don't want to hedge your bets.
I think we're going to get Saturday.
Think you're going to do Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. But I would like to just make sure we confirm.
You're going to miss opening day of Pub League?
No, because it's going to be at 1 p.m.
Oh, then you're good.
What's 1 p.m.? Pub League?
Pub League's at 9:30.
In the morning?
For Premier it is, yeah.
Okay. You're missing opening day? Okay, cool.
No.
Anyways,
Guess
the
I
first
should
weekend.
play Premier?
First weekend of April, we're going to do SonarFeed FIFA tournament.
Yeah. It'll be either Saturday or Sunday.
Yes. My only thing is about schedule for we do have confirmation that from our friend Lamar Nagel that we will have two co-hosts for the tournament.
Excellent.
I don't want to announce them yet because I want to have a conversation with them first, but we will have 2 co-hosts.
Are we working on something shiny?
And we're working on something shiny. So, yes, it should be a very fun time. But that's good. We had planned on doing it next month. Schedules didn't allow for it to happen, so we're going to do it in April.
So the goals are maximize player availability.
Yep.
Maximize hardware availability.
Yep.
And maximize bar availability.
Correct. And as long as we do that, we should be in good shape.
Mark, we're not as worried about.
Mark,
Producers are a dime a dozen.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
In this new Trump economy, you can find producers anywhere.
Are you taking him home?
Not really, no. I'm not sure how he's getting
Good
home.
luck.
Hopefully he texted Beth and said, come down and get me. I'm excited, though. So we are going to need to get into high gear to get things ready. There's a lot of stuff we need to do before that. Dave Clark has been berating me behind the scenes. And if you're watching, Dave, hi. I know he is moving or doing some moving type stuff.
Hi, Dave.
Not moving, but like reorganizational stuff.
Hi, boss.
He he's been berating me to say, hey, let's do this and let's make it bigger than ever, which raise more money than ever.
Yeah.
So we have some things to do there to make sure we can do that, because we raised 11,000 ish last year. So
we're looking to make it more efficient.
Way more efficient.
But yes,
I thought I paid a lot
money.
for Stefan Fry
You
autograph
did.
gear last year.
You did.
It might be more expensive this year.
I bet it
is
will
that?
be.
Yeah.
And we didn't do a dunk tank, which actually, now that we have enough time, we might be able to do a dunk tank.
We should.
And the weather's
Dunk the
better.
producer.
Yes.
Are you guys going to make them kick the ball at the target?
Nope. We're gonna make them all stand about this far away.
Okay.
There's actually not even going to be a ball. You just go up and you slap it.
Exactly.
All right.
Do you want dunk, Mark? Right, here you go. Here, just $10 to charity, and boom, you're good to go.
I guess I should make sure the Speedo still fits.
Oh my God, the tearaway pants. So
I'm still
is
lucky
the
they named
worst.
soccer ball, guys.
It's better than nothing.
we'll
There
have
are like 700 photos on my phone, I think, of like Sheba shooting like you wearing American flag Speedos.
wait Sheba from Portland.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
I left my phone out sitting on the
When?
stands at Pub League.
Oh, a pub league.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
Anyway.
Okay. So, and then the other news we have is we've been hashtag jackets off. Wait, there'll be more on SonarFeed FIFA tournament coming up, but we were going to do it again. It's just a little delayed this year. But jackets off. We've been talking about that in our nuanced our hashtags.
We should maybe
For
post it on
next-
Twitter like now.
Yeah, we should. Next Monday night,
Wear your wingtips.
we should actually dress up for him.
I'm down.
I will dress up next week.
I'm down to walk into work
still
and
wear
they'll be
my
like,
hat.
"Why are you dressed up?" And
Oh
like,
yeah, they fool them into.
Yeah.
I'm out interviewing or
I'm out
something.
interviewing.
Yeah. Next week we are going to have the one and only Nate Bowling on the show, and I am
beyond excited.
beyond almost like Gasman level of excitement when Gasman came on the show, because Gasman was like my idol. Yeah, I drooled like awesomeness with him because he's so great. Nate is a guy who we ended up sitting with in Toronto and had our jackets off, and we'll talk about this next week. He led the jackets off revolution, and we followed blindly because he's the one guy in this world, in this crazy world, that I would probably follow blindly.
Stop following things blindly.
Nate Bowling, I will.
Nate Bowling. That's acceptable.
That's what I'm talking about. Nate.
Yeah.
I said that's the only thing I would.
Else, no.
No, everyone else needs to stop. Yes, yeah, but Nate, I would, because Nate, if he leads me off a cliff, it's probably for a good reason. So,
So, Nate Bowling, next week,
next week,
7:30.
the 6th, February 6th,
Wow, when did February get here?
like to
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Anyway, so if we all
6.
aren't like obliterated in nuclear winter by next
Yes,
week,
we'll have the best
Nate
guest.
Bowling will
Yes.
be on SonarFeed.
Which actually, I just thought of this. It's a good idea. We should all wear a jacket to take
to
off.
take off the jacket.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm gonna find it like an awkward ass jacket to wear.
You should totally find it.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but I might have to go by
Are
Goodwill.
you ready for the number of high school students that are going to be watching the show next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not really, no. But yes.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
so maybe PG-13.
Maybe what?
PG-13.
Probably not.
We'll ask Nate.
Have you met Nate?
Yeah, we'll ask Nate.
Yeah, but if there's high school students watching,
Yeah, but
We'll ask
he's
Nate.
pretty real.
I'm trying to.
Have you seen high school students these days?
Yeah.
They're scary people.
They are.
That's
And I mean that in the nicest way possible, but they scare the daylights out of me.
against the law.
Well, sure.
I'm a counselor for them over the summer.
You're
Let's
you're a
move
counselor
on
for one?
before Mark gets in trouble.
I'm a counselor at a high
Do we
school.
even still have an NSA?
Camp, yeah.
No
I
one
didn't know
knows.
that. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
It's unclear.
You know.
And they
Yeah.
still scare me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go
no,
check the
I agree.
menu on
I agree with that.
whitehouse.gov.
Where's my magic 8-ball?
Check the menu on whitehouse.gov, and you'll know if the NSA still exists.
Chris Jarrett in the chat goes,
Said to enunciate.
make sure you enunciate jackets off. Yeah. What? We're not talking about Mark here.
So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Nate Bowling will be here next week. That'll be good. So let's. Do we want to talk soccer or do we want to talk
Let's
politics?
talk about soccer.
We've had a little something going on.
Let's talk soccer and then revert.
Okay. So soccer. I honestly have paid like almost zero attention to the.
Gustav
We signed that.
Svensson.
That's with an EN and one S, right?
Yes.
Just to piss off
Fuck
Matt Oak.
you. Matt Oak will beat the shit out of you.
I can't wait for Ladario to get a goal.
Ladario to Svensson.
I can't wait.
Svensson. Anyway, Gustav Svensson.
Gustav
Gustavo.
Smith. He is
Has been playing in China. Well, played in China last
year.
Is a victim, and by victim I mean we're the beneficiary of them deciding the last 2 weeks, holy shit, we spent all the money.
Yep.
Maybe we can't have all of the players. So here we are.
Thanks, China.
For real.
So it's interesting. So he's a 29-year-old Swedish national.
So we just got older.
No. How old's Freeberg?
I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay. But Freeberg's is older.
Yes. But I think the team had actually aged down
Yeah.
in the last month.
Oh, way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even with that move, they're
yeah.
calling it a Freeberg move, right?
Right.
Or a replacement, if
Yep.
you will. He can play center back, which is interesting. I saw in one article today, and also a defensive holding mid. So that's an interesting
Should be
combination
good
there.
when like Chad gets called in.
Yeah. If,
So he's a
if Chad
defensive
gets,
Freeberg, is what we're hearing.
yeah, but he can play center back though. Which is, I mean, that's what they said in the article. I don't know if that's like I've never seen him play, so I don't know. Is he big? He didn't look that big in the picture.
No, but it's, I mean,
So
Brad
you
Evans
can't,
wasn't big
you
in his-
can't
No,
trust
true.
photography anymore, so, don't
Right?
okay.
don't believe in that.
All right.
If you
It's
listen
true.
to the president, you would understand why you can't just look at photographs and believe that
Well,
he's that
listen,
big of a
no,
player.
no, back off. They invited a bunch of fine young gentlemen that wore white hoods, and they stood in that one little square on the map, and that was
I
totally
love that,
fine.
by the way.
Me too.
Amazing.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
boy.
Anyways, sorry, Max.
No,
so
fine.
we made a signing.
It's gonna get worse.
We made a signing.
I know.
Yeah.
And it looks like all the names are going to escape me on the inbound, outbound, but Sevilla also made another move inbound today.
Yeah.
So there was a move
The
that we've
Japanese
all
player.
been talking about.
Quixote.
I'm going to butcher his name,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to bother.
No, please do.
But
I want to hear you butcher.
no. But Dave or someone had commented this afternoon that maybe that accelerates.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah had, yeah, that maybe that accelerates our moves, given that Sevilla had made that change.
Yeah.
It is Sevilla, right? I can't keep track
Yeah, it is
anymore.
Sevilla.
So many teams. Anyway, Dave had said he expects a big move before the window closes.
Is that the big move?
This one?
No.
That one might be.
No. The,
Oh,
the,
it's not.
the
Is it
Japanese
a DP move? I don't think so.
The Japanese player.
I don't think that's a DP move, but that was also pre-Dempsey. And the Dempsey in or out, I think, is a pretty big fulcrum for what happens by the early window.
So I missed first practice because literally the only day in January that I could not take and make time for was January 24th because I was volunteering at my kid's school, and I'd already skipped my volunteer day in December to go to the parade.
Kiyotake.
Okay.
Kiyotaki? Kiyotaki?
I had the first name right.
Hiroshi Kiyotake.
Kiyotade?
Make Kiyotaki.
Taki?
Or
okay. Okay.
I'm gonna
Anyway.
say,
That's pretty good.
let's go Canadian.
That's
on
better
it.
than I
Hey.
could have said it.
Hey.
Anywho.
So how was the first practice? Did you guys go to first practice? Any of you?
I did.
Yeah.
You did.
It was
What'd
fine.
you do there?
Clicky, clicky.
Okay. All right.
There were about 60, 70 people
So pretty good turnout for a Tuesday.
for a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved 200, but 10:30 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Okay. If it had been Wednesday, you would have had 61.
Anywho, good with it. Was fun to watch. Was cool to have coaches come around and chat. Was neat to see Pineda
Yeah.
like with his coffee or tea or whatever walk out on the field.
Yeah.
Some of the 9-on-9 drills that they do.
Oh, I was going to say the unnamed
Zach.
trialist.
Yeah. Was he the
I have
unnamed
to say-
trialist?
Well, yes, when I posted a thing saying
It was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said we're playing guess the trialist. Name the non-roster trialist. And I said my roster says Zeev Stakuwani.
Yeah.
And just showed a picture of him, and a couple people went nuts. Like all 3 people that follow me on Twitter.
Well, I saw the picture.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit, is that Steve?
I was the same way in life. I actually went. I didn't believe it at first, so I went up to Jerry Neal and said, "That looks like Steve Zakuani,"
Right.
and he's like, "That is Steve Zakuani." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not insane."
Yeah, and that's what I
Well.
was.
Well,
Well,
in
you're
this-
not about
in this
that.
case,
Steve Zakuani.
it was Steve Zakuani.
Yes.
Well, Steve Zakuani is what I've been calling him. So
Steve Saccone.
So
Steve
Steve
Saccone.
out there is great to see.
he should have worn a beard and been evil Steve Zakuani.
that would've been hilarious.
I think like, and I had gone into the stadium a bit with Tifo and some other stuff towards the end of the season, so I'd seen Deuce working out and doing like off-day training days and things like that for him towards the end of the season. So it wasn't weird to see him running around quite as much, you know, and we all knew he had been out there. But seeing him go out with like the nines in the drills, one, he's just disgusting in open space with the ball. Like the try shit thing. He's like, in play, he's like, I'm going to do this thing where the ball rolls off the outside of my foot, and then I turn around, and then I still have the ball, and then you just look stupid.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's day one, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Right.
For him, though, it's day like
care.
180 because he's been like you said, he's been working out
Doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's down there with them in Arizona now.
Yes.
Yes, he was down in Arizona.
Yeah.
He
So great sign.
Uh-huh.
So really fun to watch. I mean, a couple things that jumped out for me, and Max, I think you looked specifically at probably more things than I did, but Vic Mansoray looks significantly larger as a human being.
Interesting.
Good for him.
Like bulked up.
What is he, 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, 19 now.
Like,
19.
you look at him and you're like, 80. Oh my God, Vic Mansoray. Like, he looks like, you know,
That's
everybody remembers
good.
going from 17 to 18 or 18 to 19.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's happening right in front of us. And then I think seeing Bruin and Ship was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Like, I had heard various people saying this one looked better or that one looked better. I'm like, I don't
they
know if
both
you
look
really
good.
tell right away.
They both look good.
Yeah, give it a minute. That and then Alfaro is now 15, switched to 15.
Oh, he's 15.
Yep,
Okay.
What was he last year?
25.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. All
and
right.
then I saw something right before we left. They had just swapped on, I think, one of the new squads of nines, and it was kind of like, you know, whoever's winning, they just swap the next one on, and then Torres takes the ball from their defensive end, and it's kind of like short field nines.
Yeah.
And he comes up the sideline, and I don't even know who it was. Someone just ran up to him and took the ball off him, and people were like, ooh. And I'm like, Torres is not here for ball control at all.
Yeah.
Like, he took 10 steps. That was all the steps he needs to take today.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And it was just funny to watch, and I had mentioned it to Taylor Graham or somebody, and they were like, he just made some kid's day.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, I'm going to mispronounce the name. Is it Wingo? Is that how you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
yes.
He looked good.
Really good.
He's a
Yeah.
stud.
Oh,
He is a stud.
He wants the ball. He wants to get in the mix. Day one, everyone else is laughing, jogging around, and that kid wants to play. He wants to make this team. He wants to be a player in this team. So watch out for him. We'll see what they do with him, but man, he looked good.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that he is a stud. I've enjoyed watching him play down. Yeah, I can't wait to watch him get a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Up here.
it's practice, like,
Sure.
to take the Allen Iverson talking about
Sure.
practice kind of thing. But fun to see. Interesting to see the new additions on the team. You know, a couple of folks I've been talking to, and I posted a little bit about on Twitter. I do think the Meredith Tyler Miller thing, you're going to see some competition for the backup. And Dave, I think, had mentioned, Garth was really, I don't know, concerned isn't the right word, but Garth had stated, like, Tyler Miller needs to be playing and getting minutes.
Yeah.
You can totally be the backup for S1 and play at S2.
Mm-hmm.
But Meredith should be playing, and you want somebody who's like seasoned keeper as your backup. In my opinion, I think he goes gunning for that role.
Yep.
And don't be surprised if you see Tyler Miller get loaned out to somewhere for.
Well, and he was originally going to play in Germany in like third or
you
fourth
could see
division.
him get loaned out for the rest of this season and come back in July or whatever,
Right.
just to be able to play.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Agreed.
So, especially when he's got like the national team with their eyes on him a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the end of the day, like, luxury of goalkeepers right now, like, sheesh.
Well, it's interesting because you look at where we were 2 years, 3 years ago on goalkeeping situation, right? And even like the first year of Stephen Fry.
I don't know. Spurning Hanneman was an okay tandem.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about when Fry came in, right? It was kind
People
of
were like, who the hell? This guy's been injured forever. He's awful.
Oh, I was excited when I saw him because in my mind with Fry, I knew he was on a bad team because Toronto was bad. And I'm a goalkeeper myself in rec leagues, which means jack shit, but it also means that I love watching goalkeepers.
Good job mentioning it, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
But I remember thinking specifically, this guy is the reason that Toronto was in games.
Yes.
I want to see what happens when he plays for us.
Right, but then he came in that first year and had two
Yes.
pretty big.
He was
gaffes.
prone to gaffes. His pure reaction shot stopping wasn't as good as I'd remembered it in Toronto, and it's gotten a lot better.
Yes.
But what amazed me, and still amazes me to this day, is his hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
That dude can jump in the traffic and come down with the ball.
Yep.
He rarely punches. He catches
That's-
everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because
It's
spurning
not the parry
spurning was
game,
a
it's
puncher.
I'm coming down with the
puncher.
ball.
Yes. And that was a big shift. And I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, but watching him grow and become that guy, he's what, 30? Did we decide 30? 31?
Right?
Yeah.
30, 31?
I have no idea.
The dude
We
can
could probably
play
look
for
this
a
up.
decade.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have computers now that can look that stuff up?
No, we
You
don't
know
have.
that,
We don't
I
have.
mean, that's, again, like inside baseball a little bit. People who've talked to him, he has zero interest in leaving.
Anywhere. Leaving, yeah.
Yeah.
He will be 31 this year in April.
Oh, man.
April 20th, to be exact. Steve Charmaine tweeted that we're talking about Steve Zakawani, and he retweeted it as long as you're talking about good things about him. And we are Steve. We only talk good things about Steve. Steve was still one of the best guests we've ever had on the show that I wasn't there for.
Yeah.
That broke my heart, like, not being there for. Like, oh, that was...
I'm not going to lie. I paid the money to play in his first charity tournament, charity game. Last year I told myself it was too expensive, and now I'm really kicking myself that I didn't do it, so I'm very tempted to do it.
Do it again. Yeah. He's a great... We love Steve. But Stefan, he could be here for a decade, and so we're talking about Meredith versus Miller as a backup. Both those guys are great. They could be playing.
It's like, bummer, that's the backup?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, boy. Miller might be better to have an opportunity somewhere else because he might have to wait 10 years before he plays.
Right.
But he's young.
But that's okay.
But maybe we get a good price for him.
Right. Exactly. So, anyways, yeah, that's... Yeah.
So anyway, that was the long roundabout first practice, at least from my perspective.
Yep.
And Max, anything else jump out at you from first practice? Things you saw, things you shot?
No, I mean, really what it was I was just seeing the accuracy of the pros amazes me. They were playing with those really teeny tiny goals and guys were taking shots from distance and hitting their targets. It blew my mind.
It's just silly.
Yes, it's just crazy. But other than that, I mean, that's basically it. It was...
On that note, it's funny. Every once in a while, I'll be in one of the pubs around town, and they'll have be-in or something, and there's like Barca TV, and they're doing the like 4-on-4, 5-on-5, or the one where they play like 4 nets.
Right,
And you kind of
yes.
play all of them, and guys will just do like dumb shit in traffic and score on like the far net on the other side of the field on purpose. And you're like, I'm just going to not ever look at a soccer ball ever again.
I do that when I
because-
warm up for pub league.
Yeah, yeah. You mean kick a ball way over there.
Or ask yourself,
Yeah.
you just tell
Over the
yourself you'll
fence.
never play again? Yeah.
But Mark hits something. It's just not the net he was at. There are 4 nets out there. You just happen to hit the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, no, it is. To me, it's a fun way to watch, just like how skilled people are. You know, that the moments that they have on the sideline or running out to get a ball that went to the fence is just like the silly little things that they'll do, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, one other thing I do feel it's worth mentioning from practice was there's 2 people that jumped out to me in terms of dealing with fans. One was Fisher. He actually grabbed a bunch of the trialists and young guys and led them towards the crowd to get them to thank the crowd for coming out.
Excellent.
I thought that was cool that such a young guy is the one first people thinking, hey, let's go thank the fans.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and then the other one was Roldan. He saw the 2-pole from across the way, gave a signal to Beth that he saw it. She didn't see it.
Jorstian Mordan.
Yeah. And then he came jogging over to make sure to say hello. I thought that was really cool. And then he stayed there for a good 15, 20 minutes shaking hands and signing autographs.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, I'm trying to hit myself in the head.
How's that going?
Oh, I thought that was,
Yeah.
you were trying your shake weight over there.
No.
Yeah.
No, I went to adjust my glasses and accidentally hit the mic
Oh.
because he made me set up my own mic today, and I put it in the exact right spot. But usually it's in the wrong spot, so I had to adjust my hands.
Just move on.
Yeah.
So anyway,
What color cable are you? I'm gonna.
so we talked about practice.
I'm blue.
Practice.
Yes, first practice. I wasn't there.
We talk about playoffs. Playoffs.
So when do we get our second star? This year or next year?
Are we
Let's not
making
jinx it. Let's
predictions?
not jinx it, man.
Yeah.
Jinx-
Can we
jinx
maybe
what?
get to first kick first?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. We could.
what I would want to know is what tattoo would Matt Oak get for the next one?
Oh my God! You know it would be like you have to step up from where he already is.
Which is a high bar,
It is.
depending
Donald
on how
Trump.
you look at it.
I was just thinking. I was trying to think of something Donald Trump-esque. Yes.
I don't
Esque
even
as in
know.
ESK, not ESQUE.
Wow. So the Russians did it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna go on vacay now.
Before we kind of go on a tangent, I'm sure. Eileen, off camera here. We have Houston on sale. Do we have Montreal on sale? So first two away matches, are on sale. So the people that are fervently waiting to get their tickets for first kick and beyond, ECS is selling our away tickets.
There we go. Okay.
Were we about to jump over to politics or?
We're going to in a moment. Yes.
Okay.
But before that, don't worry. We'll make sure. Also, the Zach Scott testimonial, not
March
memorial.
1st
Just so we're clear.
at Memorial.
At Memorial Stadium.
Buy your tickets.
That's why I said it that way.
MrSounder.com.
Yes. MrSounder.com.
Shop now.
Shop now.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets.
Thanks to Joe Towner for that.
And if you want, for what?
For the Mr. Sounder URL.
Oh, is it really?
Is it not MISTE or MR Sounder?
MR
MR
Sounder.
Sounder.
No period.
No period.
You're gonna.
That would be
you ever
Mr.
used
Dot.
the internet?
If that was, that'd be Mr. Dot.
That's the question I should have been asking.
Yeah, Coog. Is that CUOG or COUG?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, MrSounder.com.
Yes.
And I am taking donations for me to go. Feel free.
It's going to be pretty fun.
I can't wait.
I'm pretty
When is that, March
excited.
1st?
March 1st.
March
It's a
1st,
Wednesday.
7 p.m.
Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Memorial Stadium in downtown Seattle. Okay. Do we have anything else we want to talk about soccer related?
Well, did we want to cover the whole Fry photo thing, or do we?
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yes,
no, let's do
'cause
that.
you have
because you're a
unique
photo. So yeah,
perspectives.
let's talk about your.
You're a photo.
You're a photo.
I am a
You're a
photo.
photog, if you will.
But you're a photo.
I'm a photo.
Josh Mayers.
Do I need to pull up photographs?
Oh Lord!
You should.
The song.
Yes.
No.
No.
Please don't.
No, please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Max is going to do Photograph by Def Leppard at karaoke
Let's
after the
talk-
show tonight.
Let's talk about
As
those.
long
So
as it's not Nickelback.
it's interesting. It's an interesting topic we talked about offline before the show. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's give him a
Sure.
little background and then tell him
Okay.
your
So
piece. Of it.
everybody knows the Fry save.
The save.
The
That's all you
save.
can say,
And
yes.
we know
Yeah.
what the save is. There was a situation where on one of the ECS subgroup pages, somebody started selling autograph photos of the photo. That is a problem. Well, go
I
ahead.
didn't even know about that. No, I didn't know about. I
Oh,
really
what
didn't know
are we
about that
talking
one. I was talking about the shirt and everything. You're talking about.
Oh, we'll talk about that
we'll
too.
get to that.
We'll get there.
Whoa. Okay.
So this is where when we say "wait what" as a title, I think it's apt for this because I looked and said "wait what."
And to be clear, I don't need to defend the group. This isn't like ECS put this up in the shop. This is a person did
A
this.
person.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'll go into exactly what happened with it and why it became a thing. But the long and the short of it is a certain one member posted a photo of 7 Fry photos, all of them autographed, of the save. And he said, I have these for sale. Contact me via private message if you want one. That threw up some red flags because I know he didn't take the photo. 1. 2, there's no way to buy the photo. 3, when you have 7 of them, it rubbed me the wrong way. So I went on there and said, hey, you shouldn't be selling these. I know that you don't own the rights, and I know you don't have permission to sell either. And he responded very poorly. If he had just said, oops, I didn't know, hey, you know what, that happens. No harm, no foul. But what happened is he said, oh, I have the rights to. It's fair use. I learned that in a boring-ass journalism class, quote unquote. Okay, well, A, that's not what fair use is. We're not going to go into what fair use is because that's another story entirely. But the long and the short of it is he didn't own the photos and therefore didn't have the rights to sell. I was pissed. Not my photos, but still, I was furious. So I wrote a huge Facebook post on it and with that, because also no one, none of the admins were saying anything. They said, well, later they told me contact an admin. Well, I don't know who the admins are. Not for that page. Not for that. Yeah, I don't know who the admins are, and that's the problem. So, but what I'm going with, and it got into this huge thing. Lindsay Wasson, or Wasson, however you pronounce her name, the photographer, amazing photographer, by the way, great shot she had. There's a thing, is that we don't make that much money. Even the photographers that are paid to do it for a living, like Lindsay is for the Times, she's not going to make any money off this photo, and she's getting ripped off left and right. So I needed to bring it up. I have no problem bringing it up. Unfortunately, a few individuals decided they're going to... the post did get taken down, and I'll give that credit to the Heartland Horde, the Facebook subgroup. Once they realized it was a problem, they took it down. And the problem is, well, the thing was, a lot of the admins just didn't know. And let's be honest, although the rules of photography are out there, they're not well known. And even there's the unwritten...
Fake news, Max.
Yeah, no, seriously. And even with and even in the photography circles, we have arguments over the unwritten rules. So, for example, if he had just taken a copy, he found an unwatermarked copy on the internet, and that's why he said that he had the rights to download it, which he didn't. Well, download it, okay, but to make prints and sell, no. Now, the question is, to a lot of people, a lot of photographers, just downloading the photo and printing it out for yourself, or then getting Stephen Fry to autograph it for you, is a big no-no. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. It's a gray area. It's a very gray area. You know what? Even saying, hey, I happen to get 7 photos. Do you guys mind reimbursing me for shipping costs? I don't have a problem with that. A lot of photographers do. But where I drew the line was when he used the word sell.
Yeah.
Later on, they tried to explain to me that he was just trying to recoup his costs. The problem is he used the word sell. And this should be a minor thing, but it's not. So the problem, where all this goes is, I feel terrible for Lindsay because, as you said, with MLS ripping it off, they don't allow us to sell our photos. We're not allowed.
Right.
Any photo taken inside the stadium on a game day cannot be sold. Can't be sold by our organization unless they pay outrageous fees, and it certainly can't be sold by the photographers. That's why the only way I could ever make money is if my organization gives me money. So that was the situation that we found ourselves in.
Yeah, I do. I need it.
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm good. I just got one.
I'll just wave to Kayla as she rolls by.
So, but the whole point to me, other people said that I shouldn't. I actually got a couple of emails from people or private messages saying that I should have deleted it once it was settled, and I said no. What I did in my post is I said update, and then updated that they had removed the post, and I was leaving it up for educational purposes because people need to hear it. And
your post, and I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Because I hadn't seen it. Right. I don't think we're friends, so I'm going to add you as a friend.
Yeah.
In the future,
you don't
this
have
is
to.
one of those things that we'll actually put on the screen for people.
Exactly. Yes.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be amazing once we get that real producer in here. So anyway, I sent you a friend, but you basically say this is some very serious bullshit.
It is. Yep.
Someone, an ECS member less, is selling autographed copies of Lindsay's wonderful photo of the Fry save.
Correct.
And then you
Did you guys say something?
No, we didn't say anything at all. Update, and then you did update.
Yes.
This post was deleted by the board admin.
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera. So it's interesting because Darren Rovell or Ravel or however you pronounce his name, the ESPN.
The guy who takes all your photos and then maybe he links to your name and then says, your photo got far more reach now.
Right.
And you're like, not really.
No. But it's this argument of the arts, which are being decimated by the asshole in charge, the humanities, all these things. These are positions that you're an artist. I mean,
in this term, yes. Yes.
You are an artist.
Yes.
Photographers are an artist.
Okay.
No, but you have a specific skill.
Yes.
That while other people, like,
I have
I have decent
camera.
composition.
Yeah.
I'm not a professional photographer.
No.
I don't claim to be. I think I take decent photos. I've had a $3,000 camera in my life.
Yeah.
And a couple $1,000 worth of
And those pictures
glass.
you sent me were really nice the other day, by the way. Thank you.
Well, but
anyway.
Correct. She's not getting any money.
The question
from
off the air was she's not getting any money.
So let's
She's
not
not getting any money from.
Let's talk about the shirt.
The shirt. That's the one I saw. I didn't even know about this until now. The shirt is an MLS Adidas shirt
because this is why
being sold at.
This is why organizations feel like they can do things because the average person does.
Yeah.
So the average person will never question when a big organization does so.
Absolutely.
And just for reference, the shirt, Major League Soccer selling a shirt where there was a quote unquote artist reinterpretation or something. I don't know what they did. They took her photo and slapped it on the shirt. Is what they did.
Exactly. But it has the same folds in it. It has the same highlights in it. Everything about it is that photo.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
It's like with Mike Russell with the posters for the People thing earlier this season, where
That's right.
where Mike Russell took a photo of Jordan Moore celebrating.
Yep.
By the way, another iconic photo, and someone repurposed it with watercolors and started making money off it when Mike Russell couldn't make a dime off it, which was...
I know the person who actually originally had purchased the painting. They were actually refunded the money.
Good.
Because that person was called out for having painted iconic photography.
And going back to the post, a few people... I posted a screen grab of my conversation with the person about fair use. They took his name. Some people started sending him private messages. I do not advocate harassment at all because this is about education. It's not about retribution. I flat out sent a few people who I suspected sent personal messages saying, "Hey, cut it out," because it's not helping. It's kind of like calling people out online, like public shaming. It doesn't do that much other than make people kind of fade into the woodwork. It doesn't actually educate. There's ways to do it professionally. There was a case earlier this season where Gorilla FC ripped off one of Pro's photos on accident. Well, one person cut out a watermark and used it, and rather than making a huge big deal, all we did is contact the photographer. It was when Ladero did his Ladero phone.
Okay.
And someone contacted the Gorilla FC photographer, said, "Hey, are you aware of this?" And he said, "Whoa, that's not one of mine." And within 5 minutes, it was down.
Yep.
He sent an apology, and everyone was good.
Yep.
But also they're not making money, which is why it was. And that's the thing. And initially I said, "Hey, this is not right. You need to fix this." And when they didn't fix it is when the shit hit the fan.
Yeah. Right. Yep. That makes sense. And again, I think it's important that we talk about this because this is something that if people aren't educated about it, they have no idea what they're doing is hurting you or hurting a photographer.
Well, it's not me because, to be perfectly honest, I just switched to an organization where I do get paid.
Which organization would that be? Can you talk about that?
That would be Sounder at Heart.
Who are they? How do you reach them?
What's that?
How do you reach Sounder at Heart?
SounderAtHeart.com or Sounder at Heart on Twitter, I assume.
Okay, cool. I'm going to ask Dave next week how we get a hold of them, for sure.
But I've shot for years for pros, and I have no problems shooting for pros. I loved them. They are a very good organization. Their Seattle team is fantastic. The person taking over for me, Nick Danielson, is a freaking genius in terms of social media as well as having outstanding photography. So they're in good hands. But with that said, there's a lot of photographers that don't like the fact that guys like me are out there where I'm not making money because, to be honest, we're cutting into their ability to make a living. Not that we're cutting into their profit. We're cutting in, like Lindsay I say that wrong because she never said anything bad towards us, and I have no idea what she thinks. But I know if someone was trying to make a career out of it, and you have a bunch of jerks like me doing it for free, well, it's rough for them too. I get that. You know, the fact that I have the same credentials they do. Granted, so a lot of people have asked. Just to finish this off, I'm sorry to be on a soapbox here.
Not at all.
People have asked, well, how can we help if you can't make money? Well, look for opportunities is what I'll say. Mike Russell did a GoFundMe to get to Toronto last year.
Right.
And that was widely supported. A few people had a few words to say, which I thought was a problem to me because he's not making. If he was making money off it, okay, well then maybe he's got to find his own way. But he really wasn't.
No. And if you know Mike, like I'm just getting to know you better over the last few months.
He's such a great guy.
Mike is one of those guys. He's just a good guy.
Yes.
He's a good at heart. It's
Yes.
like I seem like you do. Mike is not after anything. And when he did that, I didn't even read the whole GoFundMe. I retweeted it before. I usually read before I retweet.
Exactly.
I retweeted
zero
it.
of the photographers in our little world here
Yes.
are
Evil
people
intentions.
that you'd be like, don't support them.
Yeah, right.
So,
I mean, maybe that Max guy, but other than that,
Yeah, that guy. Whatever.
he funds a public team, right? So what a jerk.
Not anymore.
He retired.
I
Oh, you retired?
I was just winning too much.
She retired again, I should say.
I won a cup. I retired. I got pulled out of retirement. Won 2 more cups last season.
He's a flip-flopper.
And then also a curling team named themselves
He was
Maxicino
for it before
Photography
he was
and
against
won.
it.
So I had 4 cups last season.
What?
4 cups, 1
Hey,
max.
hey, Sounders! I know you're looking for a new sponsor. We need another cup.
Yeah, I know.
The
Hey, how's
CCL
it
Cup
going?
next year. Wow.
Xbox has nothing on me, guys. And I'm sued.
I mean, maybe like $50 billion.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
there's
Yeah. Yes,
I
we will
was the
definitely.
corporate overlord you can trust. Now I'm the broke corporate overlord you can trust as of now.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
how
That's
about
perfect.
that?
All right. So,
But-
so it's a good topic, though. I
But
mean, I'm
the
glad
la-
we talked about it.
The last thing I will say is, as much of a pain in the butt as it is, find the local papers, the Seattle Times, the PI. If they have subscriptions, subscribe. It's not that much money. I subscribe to the Times. Do it. That's what keeps the staff photographers employed. That's what keeps them from getting laid off. And I know it's a pain because you can't pay for every single newspaper out there, but at least support the local ones. I know that there's ways to get around the paywall. I'm not going to tell you how. Everyone knows how they are. Just
Private browser.
what he said.
Anyway,
I like that. Okay.
That's all I got.
but seriously, like, I'm not really a fan of certain things happening at the Seattle Times right now.
At
I
all.
still am financially in a position where I'm like, I don't have a lot of free cash, but I'd like the newspaper to function in my city.
Tom and then LT Gray. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was
Thanks.
the microphone.
There you go. All right. But our goal is, and Max knows this, Max is going to come back. We're not kicking you off the show, but just
Yay.
Max is coming back. We're going to try and get a bunch of photographers, local
Yeah,
photographers on, and do kind of a round table.
Round table.
It's one of our, we met a few weeks ago. We talked about it a little bit. We want to kind of do more of the round table things because it was pretty successful, we think, in the past. And there's a lot of topics out there that people don't know about or don't focus on enough that it'd be fun to. So that will probably come up
We
again.
could get one of those
Awesome.
360-degree cameras and
Yes.
sit at a table
Yes.
where it actually shoots us all at the same time.
Plus, Aaron's
Yeah.
going to buy me a bigger board.
Yeah, yes, actually I am.
And
I
once
forgot
they-
your check.
hopefully within a year or
I'm
two,
gonna,
the
I'll be in
360
Bellevue on
cameras,
Wednesday.
technology
My
won't
mom's going to
suck.
murder you.
That's fine.
Agreed.
I'll come up and.
Because I've got some serious plans for those on the
I'll
sidelines.
bring it to you.
It's going to be fun. But I looked into it, and unless you want to invest in the GoPro ball that they have going on there, it's not worth it.
No.
I wish it was.
Okay. Good.
It will be. Give it a couple years. It will be. 360 is a thing. It's going to be. Because you
that's
can use
fine.
it on your smartphone.
Damn
That's
it.
why. Or on the VR. But the 360 cameras, they will be a thing.
Let's do this.
Cool.
Let's talk politics
Uh-oh.
for a few minutes.
Yes.
Before we wrap up the
not
show.
Sorry.
Because again, back to our earlier discussion, sometimes like everybody needs to take a break, everybody needs to do this, but sometimes you need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to talk about it with friends who get it, and then also friends who don't get it. But I mean, this group gets it, obviously, I think, for the most part, right? We're not going to be too different here in our opinions, but it's one of the things, and I know every single story I tell lately starts with, hey, this person I drove the other day. But I've driven a lot of people this week for the Women's March, because I haven't seen you guys since then.
Right.
And then also for the airport march, and for the or airport protest, and then also for yesterday's protest. And the different stories you hear and perspectives I've heard from people, and then all throughout the week, we're in Seattle. I've worn my pride scarf every single day since the election. I've worn my Sounders gear every single day since the election, on purpose to start a dialogue. I don't know. I'm a white male in my 40s. I know that I have white privilege. I know that I live in this world that I am the quote-unquote, what's the word I want to say without saying it the wrong way, but I am in the position of, I know that as a white male, I have the power, the privilege, right?
Yeah.
How I use that and how I put that forth to the community is all I can do, is the best I can do to support my fellow brothers and sisters, regardless of their sexual orientation, their gender, their race, their religion, their any of the different things that are different than me. That's all I can do, is use my voice to help that, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I want to spark that conversation by wearing that.
Can I just say,
So-
too, I think we're very privileged having you, granted, we would love for you to be in a well-paid position and all that, but that you have the opportunity to drive people and meet so many different people and have those conversations. Like, I've known you for a long time,
Yeah.
and I think it's been amazing because you're like the perfect person to have that sort of conversation with. Like,
Yeah.
getting in a car and there's nothing that seems combative about you, so you're easy to talk to.
Should I answer?
and it's great.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
No,
all
I
I got.
agree. No, I appreciate that because that's what I try to do is provide that comfort level, and that's
Right.
what I mean. I try to be the dad, whatever. That's who I want to be because that's and like
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to
drove-
berate somebody in the car.
No, I drove 5 girls yesterday. They're all seniors at a local Christian college, right? And it was very interesting to hear them talk about their family, and I was like, hey, guess what? I'm a recovering Catholic. I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad to be a Catholic. I'm not saying it's bad to be religious. But that's who I am.
Right.
And so we talked, and it was very good. And I told him, I said, make sure you use milk, just in case. Don't use hot water, in case you get
Tear
the pepper
gas.
spray, tear gas. And we talked about it, and I'm like, thank you for calling your mom and dad and telling them what you're doing so that they're aware. Make sure you tell other people. But that's, yeah, exactly. That's what I want to do. That's who I want to be. I would like to be that guy. But thank you. I'm glad to hear that somebody, else sees that, because that's who I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy.
I don't
to have a
feel like I
conversation.
should leave my house on a Sunday, and when I'm going to like peacefully protest something in Westlake Park, have to remember to not put contact lenses in.
Right.
Like that actually feels awkward to me.
Wait, say that again?
Like, do I need to
don't
bring
wear
a scarf or a
contacts
bandana?
Is on that list of rules. Like,
Oh, for the
Like-
I didn't realize that.
oh yeah. So it's like, have milk.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Okay, I didn't realize
bring
that one,
this. Like these things work in place of
Right.
various medical things, but don't wear contacts is actually a big thing.
You just texted me. Was there something that you wanted to do there?
Yeah. I'm going to either grab Max or we're going to grab Eileen.
Okay.
Either way, let's keep talking about this.
Okay.
So
'Cause we only have a few minutes left before
yeah,
karaoke.
we've got 15 minutes left.
Yep.
I think we talk a lot about soccer and politics in the section. I'm still a big believer in like not making the section get a little crazy, but as you were starting to transition the conversation
Yeah.
from photography to where we are right now, I see Stefan Fry,
Yeah.
who is our Swiss goalkeeper.
That's right.
Who is looking to
Become a citizen.
become an American. Just tweets checks and balances
Uh-huh.
emoji.
Yeah.
What, an hour ago?
Yeah.
And
And look who was the first retweeter on that one.
didn't see it. Who was it?
Me. No, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
It was right before we
you.
started
Good
the show.
job. But that's like, I'm starting to feel like people who are involved in the political process or care about stuff or love Twitter or like to talk shit on Facebook have all been talking politics for a year and a half.
Yep.
We're kind of at the point where now people who you're like, wow, I've never seen any of that happen. Like Saturday, during the friendly, the USA,
Yeah. Yep.
Serbia.
Serbia. Yeah.
It wasn't TT who was the other announcer.
I don't know.
His
I
name escapes
didn't
me.
watch it.
Said like, what? I can't remember. Anyway, was like, XYZ happened today in, after some controversial orders placed by the president, like in the middle of an international friendly. Like we're at the point where, especially when you talk about your international team,
Yeah.
and for me personally, like I support Team USA in whatever. Like I don't really care a lot about Olympics and things like that.
Yep.
It's just not the sports I care to follow that much. However, you support your country because you do.
Uh huh.
I actually believe, and I'm a American Outlaws member, in their, national politics, and frankly, against my support of Sean Wheeler and other people who've had issues with them in the past, and more because I like seeing an organization like that being able to create some scale. I actually think they should not go to Russia for the World Cup.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
actually,
1,000%.
I actually feel like that would be a statement that would be noticed on an international scale, and right now it is about scale.
Ian Dark, by the way.
It was Ian Dark. Good.
Oh,
Thank
was
you.
it Ian? Okay.
That was Emily.
So, but
Thanks,
had just
Emily.
briefly mentioned it on the air.
Yeah.
I think twice. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And it wasn't like, it was in passing, but it wasn't throwaway.
Right.
Yeah.
It was there in the flow of the conversation. And I think we're at the point now where pro and con, yesterday you had Aubrey Huff, like former Orioles
Holy
and
boy.
other outfielder on one side. And again, like, everybody can speak their mind. Like, I don't have
Absolutely.
any problem with somebody disagreeing with me or
Nope, I
Hillary
agree.
Clinton or whoever the
Yep.
fuck it is. Like, have your opinion. I don't have to think it's a good one, but have your opinion.
And I want to.
And, like, we're at the point, I think, where it's not just like Kurt Schilling is randomly commenting on politics. Now you have people who are like, I'm a naturalized citizen and I'm from X country. I don't know if I should go home and see my family.
Right. But here's my concern, is that this is not, and I've been saying this for months, and you guys know this, 'cause you've been hearing me texted and or, well, until I left the conversation abruptly the other day. This is not about politics this year. This is about humanity.
Yeah.
This is not about Trump's politics. This is not about, or 45, or whatever you want, Trump, or whatever you want to call the guy. This is about humanity this year. This is a different world today. Pence, I have a lot of severe issues with what he did in the Indiana government and how he treated our LGBTQ community. That's one thing. That's one issue. Trump is a whole nother crazy out there. Whether it's crazy, whether it's
But in the rumors
whatever.
about what's coming this week.
Yeah, it's-
Holy shit.
yeah, it's bad in my opinion, but it's beyond politics. There is a level of, and this is where I can't think of his name right now. I follow this guy from the East Coast that Brendan Vaughn talked about, Chris Arndent or something like that. He's a guy who goes around. He's a photographer, a videographer kind of guy, and he takes a lot of photos. And he sits at McDonald's and has lunch and breakfast and
So he's a
whatever.
coastal elite.
No, but he's interesting. He's talking about front row versus back row, right? And it's a very interesting discussion that he's been having about this whole idea of what the front row seats of the elitists versus what the back row or the rear row want to see happen, and they want change. They see the words that Trump is saying as change.
Okay.
But Trump is the guy who lies about everything. Like, every single word out of his mouth ever has been a lie, and I'm sorry, but it is. Or it's not a lie. He's telling you exactly what he's going to do, and you're going, oh, okay, but he's not really going to do that.
And that's the scary thing is that
So-
all the people who are like, it won't be that bad. Those crazy
Give
things
him a
he talked
chance.
about, blah, 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 won't. And you're like, you know what? To give him a chance, I almost feel for that for a second. And because, like, we went from election night, his speech, everybody was like, wow, that was actually a pretty positive speech.
Because he
That's
didn't write
interesting. Well, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
But,
Irrelevant.
Like, that was pretty positive.
I mean, he still
And
said
then we
it.
got to Inauguration Day, and then
Yeah.
you were like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
okay.
But I'm just saying, he didn't write it in that he didn't write it and didn't believe it. He said it, but it's not what he believes in his core as the core. That's my
He
opinion.
wrote that press release tonight, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely,
What's
he
it, calling
did.
her a traitor or betraying
Uh-huh.
the country.
Betraying, yeah.
of course.
Very, very bad. Not you.
I mean,
very,
it's
very
slander.
Bad. Very bad. It's
Yeah,
very bad.
it's-
Sad. Hashtag AG out. I don't know.
So I would say we're, when you want to say like talking politics
I'll have half. Or
and sort
one,
of where
single.
we are right now, where we are moving forward, I think we're at the point of, I believe, politics aside, we're going to reach a point where, let me step back a sec. I think a deafening silence from a significant portion of conservative people who we all may or may not know, like
Yep.
who I know personally
Yep.
from even living out east, but like online and even the senators, like as much as people want to talk about the ones that are not speaking out, there's a lot of silence right now. And to me, there's a little bit of that silence is deafening where people aren't really sure what to do. And I think the move forward is we're quickly going to get to the point of it's not about what party you typically vote for.
Which side
Like
of history you want to
really
be on?
quickly, yeah. And I think that's maybe the best way to put it. And that's sort of the horrifying thing to say, is that very, very quick, like that escalated quickly is an understatement right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally like Brexit happened, and then America just said, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Which Brexit was the warning sign that we talked about offline. Like a holy crap.
Yep.
Right.
And I grew up in the Midwest with very casual homophobia, sexism, racism. I mean, in my immediate family, like I saw this. and that's how I was originally being brought up. And then I was like, I hit a point where I'm like, wow, wait a minute. I will. It was bad. Just sorry. I had a flashback to memories of bad things. It was a very interesting time growing up in Detroit, which had been a hotbed for obviously for a lot of riots in the '60s and '70s, during the '60s during the Civil Rights Movement. And some of my immediate family and or extended family had a very different view of the world than I do.
Yep.
And it's sad and scary to see that and look at that. But again, politics is fine. I'm okay I want to have a discussion with people who want to talk about that we're different.
Please.
I'm 100% fine with that.
It's actually it's a bad idea to not.
I agree.
Right.
But the problem is right now, when you look at any tweet, whether it's from the right or from the left, and then you read the comments, you get the left making a bunch of bullshit on the right comments, you get the left making a bunch of bullshit comments on the right, and it's this nonsensical thing that
Every
nobody
single
talks.
one of them a straw man.
And everyone's a strong man. Every one of them is an egg, a Twitter egg. And it's just like, so I tweeted on Saturday night a comment to Ed Murray, the Seattle Police Department, and CTAX, Port of Seattle. Port of Seattle.
Port of Seattle.
I got like 60-something retweets, and I don't know how many likes, on a comment of, you're better than this, don't do this. And then I had a bunch of eggs come into my timeline and say, well, if Obama would have been better, or Hillary, or blah, blah, I'm like, I blocked, reported, et cetera. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, you're better than this. Don't.
Period.
Protesters are good.
Yep,
Protests are good.
Always.
The March for Life.
Well, not always.
The March for Life on Friday, which I would actually, the only complaint I have about the March for Life is it should be called the March for Birth, because they don't give a shit about people after they're born.
Right.
Yep, thank you. The March for Birth rally is great.
Microphone. Stay on the microphone.
I appreciate that. I want you to have the march. I want the right and the left and everybody in the middle to have that. I am a fiscally conservative, socially liberal person. A lot of my policies have gone back and forth over the years, and I think that's a good thing. I look at the way the parties are going, and it scares me because we're going far right and we're going far left, and the middle is...
I've seen it a lot on Twitter, people saying it's no longer about right and left. It's about right and wrong.
But it still is, and that's the problem. Like one of my frustrations with the Women's March was people jumping on and saying, well, what did that accomplish? Well, it wasn't...
You missed the point.
It's not going to accomplish anything really. But it is sending the message that people are actually getting upset enough to start
There's an
doing
opposition
things.
voice.
And you know what? About 8 years ago, there was a group of, they called themselves independents. They ended up being taken over by some extreme conservatives, having these things that they were calling the Tea Parties.
Right.
And that was only for taxed enough already. It was supposed to be, for a lot of the people that were organizing them, it was supposed to be only about economic issues and being fiscally conservative or fiscally liberal. It had nothing to do with palling around with terrorists or any of those silly things until it got hijacked by the Tea Party and it was being extreme conservative on both social and economic issues. But what I'm getting at is those started very disorganized, and then it became organized as leaders stepped up. This could be the call for liberals or Democrats or however you want to classify people to finally start getting real leadership stepping up again.
I think Tom and I were talking about this earlier. It's a huge thing to look at. ACLU donations this weekend, $24 million.
Wow.
Yeah,
they raised 7 like the next day after Trump was elected.
Yes.
And 24 this weekend, and their normal is
3 million for a year.
Yeah, 4.
Oh, 4 million. Sorry,
Yeah.
a
year.
A year. So 6
And that's
times.
an average.
6 times in one weekend. That's amazing.
But hey, coastal elite.
Yeah. But it's not, but that's just it. I don't want to be, well, let's be honest. If there's anywhere in the world I want to live, or anywhere in the country I want to live, it's the Northwest. I mean,
I
Well,
think
I love it here,
a fair example of our Attorney General
today,
today.
Like, how awesome was that? Like, how cool?
Who started this?
Well, until they got fired.
No.
Our
Our state attorney general.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Not. Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry.
We're the first state to sue the guy.
Yeah.
That's California's been talking about it for a week, but our guy did it. It's like,
They're busy trying to figure out how to become their own country.
Well, that's also
can we
true.
join? How do we join?
Yeah.
Yeah, he named Homeland Security and Bannon. But let's be honest. Hashtag President Bannon
Right.
is really the guy that's a real issue here. If we want to strip everything away, if you take Bannon out of this White House right now, Bannon is my concern. Bannon is my issue here. You have a guy that was the editor of a racist, nationalistic
Who, by the way,
rag.
is being suing for being called out for being like white nationalists.
Because he is. We're calling it like it is. That's the guy I have a problem with. If you take him away, if you take two things, take away Twitter from Donald Trump and his ability to watch Fox News, and take away Bannon, we're having a different argument right now.
He dismissed the chief. I'm sorry, I can't. The words failing to. But
from the National Security Council.
Yeah.
Took away the power of people that actually understand what's happening.
What?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. More people donated than showed up to the inauguration, Jesse said. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, to me the scary thing is that people are literally like, I don't really see what the concern is. Like, I don't know. At some point, you might want to back off your party line.
Agreed. Like, okay, let's be honest. I'm not a violent person. I don't like violence in general. The idea of punch a Nazi,
I will punch a fucking Nazi in the
all
face.
it's it's hilarious to me, and B, I'm fully behind it. Like, I would tell...
I still won't, but that's just me.
What?
I still won't, but that's just me.
That's fine. But you don't have... But you can find... You can find the support and or humor behind the idea.
I find it funny. The only reason I don't like it is because it does... Because
Thank you, Jesse.
Because a lot of people on the right, and it's a fair criticism that I do have a lot of conservative friends that the second that you start using the terms fascist, Nazi, whatever, their brains turn off. Just like when whenever you hear someone use the term libtard, my brain turns off. I'm like, no, I don't care what you say.
Fair enough. However, when you look at the what's his name? Richard, whatever the hell his name is, the Nazi.
Yes.
He is a Nazi.
No, it's fair. I mean,
plain and simple. He's not the alt-right. He claims to be alt-right. He's a fucking Nazi.
Sure.
That guy tweeted, I can't believe that Quebec City has mosques. Why does such a beautiful city have mosques? To me, there's no defense behind that comment. That is a guy
who bought a flight to Arlington
it's
so I
still
could find
stupid.
him and punch him.
He's an idiot. But I mean,
but he's a Nazi. He is a guy who cares nothing about anybody but the quote-unquote white people that are like him.
But he's also doing it for attention. You know,
of course he is. I understand. I get that. But that's a guy who, if he gets punched, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to be supportive of it.
I'm not going to feel bad for him, but I'm not going to... At the same time, I'm not going to advocate for violence. I just can't.
I get that. However, if you look back at the period we're in right now...
Sure.
And I'm not the guy, and I'm looking forward to next week so we can talk to Nate at a little different level, and I'm not saying we're going to talk about everything we're talking about tonight or put it on him. But if you look back at what happened in the 20s and 30s in Germany...
Okay, yes.
And you look at what's happening today...
Yes.
The parallels are scary.
The scary thing to me was today when Trump fired the attorney, the
AG, yep.
That, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually the first real scare where I'm just like, what is going on here?
But scary is actually the word.
Yeah, scary. It's scary.
Yeah, I don't think the average person even thinks scary is near where they should
But
feel.
my problem is that a lot of my conservative friends flat out said, right after that, like, haha, yeah, go Trump. But I'm just like, guys, come on.
Listen, like, I understand it. It's within his right to do that.
But this isn't him doing it because he's conservative. This is like, you disagreed with me.
You're gone. Yeah. And she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do, uphold the Constitution.
and that's what scares me. Anyone that calls himself a constitutionalist should be afraid as of this moment in my mind. And that's the thing is, I have a lot of conservative friends that for years have been holding up that Constitution when talking about Obama, and I agreed that with them on certain things. I was like, guys, the fact that Obama upheld the Patriot Act scares the daylights out of me.
Yeah.
But with that said, good Lord, man. I mean, if you call yourself a constitutionalist and you're okay with what happened today, because you like Trump's message, quote unquote, then there's something wrong with you.
But this is back to where the Chris Arnett, which I retweeted it from both accounts here.
Sure.
I think it's worth going to look at his view. It's a hard one. It's a hard swallow sometimes, because sometimes he talks about things that I'm like, okay, but I grew up with those people, and I see the value or the positive the if you grew up in Seattle, or you grew up in Kent, we've all watched Almost Live here locally. Those of us have been here a long time. We made fun of the people in Kent, or we made fun of people in Renton, or we made fun of people wherever.
And Ballard.
Yeah,
Sure,
exactly.
you live downtown and make fun of the people in Belltown.
Exactly, right.
So, like,
but
Nobody ever makes
if
fun
you
of
look,
Belltown.
no, but it's not about that. It's
I'm saying if you're raised in an area where, like, my kids are being raised in a upper middle class neighborhood, thankfully we're in a very diverse school district, so they're seeing the world and they're seeing our friends represented in that group. But if you're raised in the Midwest or the South, the Northeast, the Northwest, the California, everyone has a different view of the world. If you get out of your own bubble, if you get out of your own, and I hate using the word bubble, I'm not trying to say it in that way,
No,
but if you get out of your own world and go actually experience the rest of the world and look at it from your eye, Tom, you and I are very similar, but we're very different. Max, you and I are similar, but we're very different.
Yes.
Mark, I'm not going there. But
We're similar.
No, we are. We're similar but different, right? But we all have a very unique view of the world.
Yes.
If you only look at it through your own eyes, you are part of the problem. You need to look at it from the whole, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that from a quote-unquote front row seat to continue on this discussion of I've been fortunate to see the world and view it from a different world, but I also choose not to only look at it from my view. I choose to look at it from somebody else's view with empathy from a seat of privilege. Right. If that makes sense.
Empathy and compassion are the two biggest words I think that should be used in terms of dialogue.
Yes. So we should probably, I don't want to end, but we should probably end. But you understand what I'm trying to, hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. I want a dialogue to continue. I don't look at the letter after your name, the D or the R or the I for whatever, as a sign of good or bad. Lately, I've had more issue with a certain letter of R, but
like in real life, I don't want to be friends with people anymore. Like, I'm actually reached that point finally.
Which is where I was last Sunday.
However, I haven't unfriended anybody. There are a couple people on Facebook friends with that are frankly part of Sounders Land that we all know.
Yeah.
That, like, they'll go, hey, what about this point of view? And I'm happy to have that discussion. And even, like, I would say on Twitter yesterday, I threw something out at someone that's like a pretty hardcore Republican. And I quote tweeted them and just gave my 2 cents on that. And I got nothing back. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
None of us unfollowed each other. Like, are there people I've, like, stopped paying attention to? Absolutely.
Yes.
But I'd rather, like, at least have a little bit of a clue as to what people are thinking that I don't agree with than not. But frankly, like, sitting here at a bar, those days are over.
Yeah.
No, they're not. We're here. Ha!
No.
I know.
I'm
what you're
saying,
saying.
like, like, if we're all sitting here and Mark decides that he has a completely opposite view against something that's, like, way against my politics, I'm not going to not talk to him.
No.
But I'm not going out of my way anymore. And I think while I could have given it a few months of, like, let's see what happens. I mean, let's just be clear.
That ship sailed.
For the most part, from president to president in the United States, irrelevant of their politics and the things that we've all seen and believed, think about the freakouts for other presidents were the same as some of the freakouts about Trump.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, they come in and it's a standard deviation away from where you were from the previous administration. Maybe 2. We're like 6 standard deviations away.
Yeah,
right now.
I agree. I totally. So I want to say, I was trying to get him to give.
Do you want me to get him to pause really fast?
No, it's okay. He's fine. I want to say one last thing on that note, because I've got 2 kids, a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old. 7-year-old is age appropriateness. The 13-year-old now is old enough to really engage with at a different level.
But they're both kind of aware, right?
They are very aware.
Yeah.
And we talk about this in a very open terms, and we talk about it very openly, that we try and explain both sides. We watched both the Republican and the Democratic National Convention, and we watched it, I know it's hard to believe, quietly. Like, we watched it and didn't comment and let them form their own opinions. And let
Because
them
Aaron
have
was like subtweeting.
Oh, well, yeah, it was. I mean, you know that. I mean, but it's important to me that the kid. If my kids grow up and have opinions that are different than me, I am 100% fine with that. If they become Nazis, and I'm sorry, I'm not calling them all right. They're Nazi. If they cannot, I'm going to step up and smack down on it at that point. And I hope they won't, and I don't think they would, because
If you go to Russia, though, that's legal because domestic violence is now decriminalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Jesus.
But my point is fuck. Damn it, I hate that. Damn it. My point is, I want them to come up with whatever views of the world they want to have, and now if they end up being a Republican or a Democrat or a whatever we call them in the future, I don't care.
Do what you do.
But be a critical thinker and actually put some thought into what you're trying to do. Don't be a reactionary. We are reactionary. I am reactionary sometimes on Twitter. Glenn called me out the other day, made me mad at first, and then I realized the backstory because he DM'd me. I'm like, oh, okay. There's more to it than just the surface, is all I'm trying to say. Investigate, read more than one source.
Wait, so you're saying I shouldn't just like read one newspaper and then believe that and go with it?
Yes.
Oh.
I know that's hard.
What if Jeff Baker wrote the story?
Is that with the JEFF or GOF?
So, what I will say, the one thing that I wish people would do a little bit more of, and this is why I think having conversation in a bar is more effective than online, because we can remind ourselves that a lot of times we're friends with people for a reason in the first place, because in the end we see the same overall goal, which is prosperity and happiness, or however we get there.
Yep.
But with that said, we have different ways that we see it being achieved, especially economically.
Yes.
But you know what? I know we're running low on time, so that's all I'll say. It's like, just remember that. Don't speak in absolutes, and I say that with an absolute. But
Yes.
But especially online, once you speak in an absolute, everyone else ignores you.
Exactly. And I know I'm guilty of that. And I will say that a lot of what I say is an absolute to the moment I'm feeling it, because I'm a raw emotional guy who's not afraid to share my thoughts for good or bad. And I'm an emotional guy. And that's who I am, and sorry, but once I say something and then I can be educated about it further,
Sure.
I can change or shift my opinions within reason. I'm not shifting my opinions on my views on racism, homophobia, xenophobia, etc.
No.
That's not a shiftable issue. My views on Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell not listening to me, or my perceived view of that, I can be changed on that, right? Or certain other
Looks
things.
like they're calling it a night.
So, but
Looks like they're about to start.
yeah, he's good. Tom, last comments?
I'm excited for Nate Bowling next week.
Yeah, Nate's going to be fun. Max, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
thank
That was
you.
fantastic.
At Max Aquino Photo,
Yes.
MaxAquino photo on Twitter.
Yes.
.com.
Eventually, I'll own MaxKino.com.
.org, .zzz, .sh.
Or if you really if you need to find me, just type in the corporate overlord you can trust on Google. I am number 1 and 2 now.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
You should run for Congress.
One other thing, our good friend Sarah McNally
Oh, yeah, good,
has
yes.
a T-shirt,
At Constellation and Company.
a sign that she carried during the Women's March,
Yep.
and I think these are words that are very important in our society right now. It says empathy, kindness, and respect. I think that's something that everybody needs to embody.
I am buying one of those.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
And she's already hit the number that she needed to hit to get them printed, but they're $28. She's donating $5 towards
The 100% of the money that she would have made as an artist,
Right.
she's donating to
immigration.
WA IRC or whatever.
Yeah.
The immigration in Washington State affects directly our local community.
And speaking of Sarah, she is playing Pub League, so I cannot wait to see her 2 polls that come up there.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Wow.
But thank you guys for coming tonight.
Yeah,
Max for
thank you
joining
guys.
us.
Thank you for having me. It
And
was
thank you
fun.
for watching at home. This is we're gonna mix politics and sports next week, especially.
Unfortunately.
But it's okay. I mean, again, and if you have a different view than us and want
Bring it
to
on.
talk in an intellectual format,
We're happy to discuss.
ping us, please, for real. I want to talk to somebody who has a different opinion.
What if I want to send a denial of service attack to your YouTube stream?
www.whitehouse.gov is what I would do. All right. Hey, you know what? Here in Renton,
Head of the curve.
we're ahead of the curve.
Have a good
We
night,
out.
folks.
Bye, Tim.
Holy shit. Hey, how about those Packers? Oh.